Evening, everybody. Welcome. 28th of January 2022. We're here on Barbers Arms. It's back to normal on a Friday evening. We've got a cracker coming up for you tonight on episode 79, all in conjunction with Wahl UK and the British Barbers Association. Me and Gaz will take you through this week. Let's see what's been happening in Gary's land and everywhere else across the industry. No face masks now here in the UK, so let's see how everybody's dealing with that. And then at 8:15, we've got EMMA SIMMONS coming up from Salon 54. Emma's one of the new kids on the block. Amazing photography. This girl's producing at the minute, and she's part of Project Men with the Fellowship as well. So Emma's going to be joining us at 8:15 live from Thirsk, and then we're going to go across the Atlantic to a biggie. We can't wait to get him on Barbers Arms. He did appear on the live Barbers Arms expo that we did last year, but we've got Nieves Almaraz from How to Fade Barbers in Cesario in Chicago. Nieves is the current men's hairdresser of the year at the NAHA Awards in America, and he's the first barber ever in history to win that. He's coming up here live, episode 79 on Barbers Arms. Without further ado, please welcome the one and only Mr. Gary Machin.
And thank you very much, Mr. Simon Shaw. Great to be back on a Friday night.
All excited.
Yeah. Thanks first of all for everybody that viewed us last week. I think we've got just short of 62,000 views for last week's show. Thank you to George and Tammy, great guests. Thank you for giving us your time and keeping us entertained last week. All those on our regular list, anybody who's listening or catching up, please interact with us on the chat room. This is what focuses our and builds the show. So anything you want to see or do on the show, please give us your chat, what you're drinking, who you want to see on the show. What we're drinking tonight, talking of beer, Mr. Shaw?
Well, I've got some really fantastic painkillers in America, which is 658 milligrams, which is a really weird number. And they go fantastic with Desperado. So at the minute, I'm floating. It's just like floating across the airwaves.
Why? What have you done now? Have you still got your bad neck or whatever?
No, I just... I can't say it live on air, but I do like a strong painkiller from time to time. I think as you get older, you take a painkiller just before you get pain. I'm going to have a busy day today. Okay, I'm going to take a painkiller just in case it comes on. Desperados is the drink of the evening. Guys, I'm really looking forward tonight. Young girl, EMMA SIMMONS coming on from Salon 54. Emma's part of my Project Men's team, and I saw her last year at certain events and at the fellowship, and photographic work is like, wow, she's come right behind the scenes and super photographic work and a really good hairdresser. And now she's obviously going into the men's side of it as well. I know she's going to do some photographs this year in the men's industry. So Emma will be a great guest. And I think the project guys as well, there's a competition going on when we get them on. Who's going to get the most views? So Tam and George set it on fire on 62,000 views so far. That is just so far, that can carry on growing. And then we're going to go across the pond. We've got Nieves coming on. I was over in Chicago. Me and Sam went over to Nieves's school, which is a bit, we'll not spoil it for him, but there's a famous person that was born in the area, a block away from where Nieves' place is, and it's kind of got that feel about it all. But we'll let Nieves tell us who the famous person is, where his shoppers who were born there. So that's all coming up tonight. Have you had a good week anyway? Has everybody stopped wearing masks?
Yeah, I mean, I got in because I was off yesterday. I had a rare day off yesterday, last day of the shooting season yesterday. So I came in this morning and nobody's wearing masks. I was like, hey, wear your masks. And they're all, we don't have to wear them anymore. They ditched them straight away. I've been out the shop one day. But it is legal now too. To be fair, I carried on today. I wore mine today. It was only because we've had a group of friends that we knock about with, and it seems like everybody's gone down with COVID this last. It's about 5 days worth since the last show. People who are quite close and who I know very well, they've all come down with COVID, and I'm one of the few now who hasn't actually had it, and I don't fancy taking any risks really, because we're going away again in 2 weeks on Thursday. So I think I'm going to give the mask a go all the way up until I go away again, because I just don't want to tempt fate, because I'm bound to get it now, and you know, just as I go away. So yeah, masks are gone, but for the rest of the guys, the apprentice, he's a bit, he's still wearing his as well, because he's getting close to people. So so you know, you have to toe the line. I notice Mark's still wearing his. Jared Welsh and Tammy's watching us as well. She's back on and watching the live stream again, so that's great to see. But yeah, if all you guys out there who are watching tonight, what do you think of the mask situation? We are close contact services. Do we carry on with them? Give us your views.
I think, do you know what? I said really the first lockdown when everybody went back into after, I think it was the 4th of June or something, 4th of July we came back. Yeah, I think it was 4th of July, after the first ever lockdown. And I think COVID has fetched around some real strong positive points to barbering, our barbering industry. Gloves, masks, more poignant in the shops all the time. So, you know, I think people can play on that and can continue to do that. You know, certainly if I travel, you know, on the plane going over to the States and everywhere in America, and it's mandatory to wear them. And I still think my advice would always be crowded areas, public transports and stuff, you know, I'm still going to be wearing mine just in case. Like you just said, Gary, there's more people now that have it than ever before in and around you.
Yeah.
So,
I noticed on the news there's a second kind of Omicron just come out, hasn't there? There's a BA1 is the original, BA2 is the most prevalent in Denmark, I think somewhere. It's more contagious, but it isn't any worse off for your health. So it is going to carry on. I think the whole thing's just going to keep rolling along. Whether it's going to kill people or not, I'm not quite sure, because it seems to be tailing off a bit in the news.
well, fingers crossed that we can get through it. We want to keep travelling. Me and Trevor were looking at some dates. We need to. I don't know if he's mentioned that to you as well. So keep back end of April free for yourself as well, because we're going to try and have a convalescent 4 or 5 days in Dubai. We're team meeting in Dubai. It's been called, so you need to speak to barmaid and get a pass. Okay, we'll say we potentially could do a Barber's Arms from Pier 7, Simon's Rumours restaurant, one of our favourites when we get out there. I've been a few times, and me and you have had a great evening in there as well. Imagine Barber's Arms on that Pier 7 with those little people as well. I'm going to take one home with me this time, though, because I missed that last time. Hiya, Tammy. Hiya, Mark Walters, our first two joining us in tonight. Don't forget to share everything as well. You know, we want you to share all Barber's Arms as well. We want to increase all our viewers as well. Instagram, Simon Shaw Wahl. Gaz is the British Barber. Barbers_arms. Them's our Instagram accounts. If you want to watch any of the podcasts, any of the previous 78 episodes, they're all on the barbersarms.co.uk. And if you want to email us, it is barbersarms@thebritishbarber.com. Them's our Instagram accounts. People who are watching tonight, join in the chat, talk to us about, like Gary said, you know, any topics that you want fetching up while we're talking about it. And also don't forget to share it on your socials as well. Gary, are you back fully staffed?
Yeah, we're all back now. We haven't got anybody off with COVID now, which is a first in quite a few weeks or even months now. So it's touch wood. I'm not tempting fate, because you can, you know, you've got to remember you can have it more than once as well. So we've had staff with it multiple times now as well. So, you know, it's one of them things. I've just noticed Jared Walsh from Vagabonds Barbers. He's watching. He's just put on about you know, it makes customers feel a little bit safe. It's all about consumer confidence, isn't it? We're still getting a lot of older guys and those who have got underlying health problems who are insisting on wearing them in the chair still as well, you know, from a customer point of view. So, you know, it does make people feel more comfortable and safer. So anything that gets them rolling through the door, mate.
Jared, I know you've been sending me some Instagram stuff from the guys at Vagabonds, doing some great work. I've been so busy this week. You probably seen I've liked it, but I haven't been able to chance, because it's one of them things, as I'm getting older, I have to have a pad with me everywhere, just so we can keep, when I forget stuff, I have to write it down at middle at night. I do wake up at middle at night with my notepad at the side of me, and if I think of something, I write it down. Instagram and I'm looking through people's stuff. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'll speak to them in a minute, and then you don't. But Vagabonds, I know you're doing some great work, and I don't think it's unnoticed because I do watch it and do like all your stuff you're doing. Gaz, talking about that, have you? Is there anything happening in terms of like the abroad stuff? Have you got any?
Not at the moment. We've got a few, fires in the pokers in the fire. We've had some interest from Ghana. I think. I hope Trevor doesn't mind me saying, and we've got stuff going on in India, hopefully. Stateside is always something on our minds because we've got a lot of clients out there. We've got a lot of work out there as well. But it's just piecing it together and getting people together, and it's just putting a plan together for it to be fair. And people are either not quite ready. We've got quite a few new clients around the globe. I think Saudi Arabia and Middle East, that's going really well. So there's certain places that are showing a lot of interest, but we just haven't planned anything. Just, like yourself, you're penciling things in for the year ahead, but it's just when we're actually going to pull the trigger on them, especially because the stuff in Africa, West Africa, we got some nice venues that are taking the product, and we're going out there and doing some training, but it's just getting it in the book and booking the flights really. So, fingers crossed we'll be traveling.
The reason why I'm asking, a lot of barbers have been asking me about, potentially people aren't been away for a couple of years or not been, and there's quite a few shows in the UK. We've got Barber Connect coming up. Hopefully we're going to be doing a live Barber's Arms from Barber Connect, but that's in June. And then you've Salon International, and there's not much in between that. And I think some barbers are potentially looking at the ABS show in April in America. There's a show in California in June. I think people are trying to look and think, look, there's not much offer they're going to travel. And I think, look, that's good if it's safe to do so. I think if you want to, and people are thirsty for education, thirsty to get together and get in and have an exhibition, because it's for me, Gary, always at exhibitions, especially when I was just visiting years ago. I didn't do that much actually. I've been doing exhibitions since I was fucking 20. But for me, it's the social side as well as the business side when you go away. I think that's a part of it.
Yeah, and I think, from a social side, it's, us doing this is a typical example. We interact with people, it keeps us out there, it keeps us, in touch with people. But you've got to make that effort to be actually on, haven't you? When we do have Zoom meetings, when we do have team meetings, I'm constantly on there with, Department of Education and stuff. But it's those chance meetings when you're in the airport or when you're in London or when you're at a show and it isn't somebody you particularly arranged to meet, but you beat up with them, and it can give you a lead, and it'll lead to more work or going for a pint, or it's just those indiscriminate meetings that you have with people.
I did reminisce a little bit when we were in Chicago Saturday afternoon. We were walking around like, oh, me and Gaz have been in that bar with Brian and Carl and Joff and Rob, and we'd been out, and so some of the bars that we'd all gone into in Chicago kind of give us some. This show's getting international tonight. We've got Welsh on as well, Leanne Jones. Hello, Leanne.
Yeah.
Wales tonight, so welcome again, part of Project Men. Well done, Leanne.
Do you know what as well? It's the way I met Mark Wally. I kept seeing him in so many different shows in so many different cities, and I'd see him, and I didn't particularly know him before this, and I'd see him, and I'd see him somewhere else. And he always has great stands, and obviously his brand's going great in the US.
You've seen the artwork in one of my bedrooms that he did for me when I'm up here. And he's done a Legends, 100 influential people over the last 20 years in the industry. And I was lucky enough to be part of it. And it's like a montage of loads of top hairdressers and barbers. And he's done it. And it's an artwork that's coming out later this year for charity. And it's going to be in art galleries. But well done, Mark Woolley. Absolutely amazing artwork.
Yeah, I've seen it. It looks great. But meeting people like that, and it's led to a friendship. He's been on the show. He's been down to his place down there. So, it's the most unlikeliest places. You see, I saw a Rolls Royce in a show in Chicago, I think it was, or it might have been Long Beach, and I'm like, oh, the Rolls Royce, strange. Walked over, Mark's there, got introduced, saw Brian. You know, it's just those chance meetings. Cole Tom, all the guys that I know from North America. It's from doing this. I didn't go out there to meet them, especially. But you build those friendships up, don't you? You know, and all these guys that are working out there. I've met some really great people, and you don't get that off a Zoom meeting, do you? You know, that's what I'm trying to say. It's when you get out there, you're actually doing it. You know, so it's really, really good, and it changes the way you look at things as well. So.
Okay, so I think our first guest is here in the car park. Let's quick low to Nikos, who's just joined us from London. Hi, Nikos. I hope you're doing well, mate. Nikos, great studio there for his micro-pigmentation stuff. He does some very fantastic work. So we're going to be joined now by a young lady who's coming from Thirsk, Salon 54. And Gary, I kind of watched some of the stuff that she did last year. It's kind of blown away with some of the photographs, guys. If you want to have a look, and we're going to put Emma's Instagram accounts and all the socials coming up on screens right now. But looking at some of her work, you're like, wow, where's this come from? This is like amazing. And then I was lucky enough to look at the selection of our Project Men, and she entered Project Men, successfully got there with our 12 selected project team. So without further ado, making her first debut here on Barbers Arms from Salon 54, give a warm welcome to Emma Simmons. Emma.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you.
First of all, what are you drinking?
Pink grapefruit. Can you see?
Pink grapefruit. Is that cider?
Pink cider, yeah. I've not had cider since I was 14. And it was white lightning.
To match your hair? Is the pink grapefruit to match your hair?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it does as well. That's the first person on Barbers Arms that's had a drink to match the colour of their hair.
Evening, Emma.
Cheers.
Welcome to welcome to the Barbers Arms. This pink thing's becoming a weekly thing. We had Tammy on last week, and she had the same shade of hair as well. You must be a
ball.
Yeah. Great bar there. Is that a particular bar? Have you had that off Shutter Shack? Is that a bar you know?
I don't know. My husband did it for me because I'm not very technical. I was just like, get me a bar. He did think it was funny. At first, he put a lap dancing bar on, and he said, when you move, there's a woman behind you stood. And I was like, no, change that.
No. Well, he should have told me, because that would have been fantastic. Hey, looking at drinks, guys, to match your hair, you could have had a Grey Goose.
Oh, thanks very much. No, I'm following in your footsteps tonight. I'm on the old Desperados. I pinched them out of. I've come over to the dark side. I looked what stash I got at home. I thought, what have I got at home when I was leaving work? So I raided the beer fridge at work, and I've got a few cider, a few Desperados, but nothing what I usually drink. So I'm on bits and bobs tonight that I pulled together as I was running out of work. Emma, just quickly for the viewers who don't know you out there, I'm sure there's a couple who do, but just for the one or two that don't, can you just give us a quick rundown of who you are, what you are, and where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm Emma Simmons, and I live in Thirsk in North Yorkshire, which is the town where James Herriot came from. So there's not much going on here. So I go down to London quite a lot, doing little bits and bobs. I did Project X last year, Project Men this year. I've got a salon in the market town. I've had that since I was 21. I won't tell you how old I am, but I've had it for over 20 years. So yeah, it's doing well, like blooming COVID and everything, but what can you do? But we're still here. I like doing photo shoots and lots of stuff like that. So done BHA, and I've won a couple of international awards for my collections and stuff as well. So, but yeah, just enjoying getting out and about and getting out of like North Yorkshire and seeing what's happening everywhere else.
Fantastic.
What's your awards that you've won? Just to let you know, the last couple of years, what awards have you won?
IHA, Best Female Collection, International Beauty Industry Awards. I've won a colouring one and a cutting one. Finalised in the BHA for the last 3 years. I've just done another beauty awards competition, an international beauty awards competition, just to a colouring one, I think, in that.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did an NHF one. I did the men's. I won a men's one. I think that was a couple of years ago now, though. But I did a men's one then, and won. I didn't expect to win that, so that was nice. Because that was one of the only photo shoots I've done with guys. So
coming on to my first question. Coming on to my first question then for our viewers that's watching and people who are watching live as well is, so if we look at brands and a lot of the bigger names in industry, they'll do photo shoots, but coming from where you're coming from now and starting to win these big accolades and putting really good photo shoots together, and finalists 3 times in British Hairdressing Awards in what is that, in the northeastern category?
Northeast, yeah.
So I mean,
I'm up against like Robert Eaton and Hooker and Young and that, so I've got quite a hard category. But
to get to the last 6 is a massive achievement. So just tell everyone, what's your thought process when you're thinking about a photo shoot? Where do you start and how do you work it through?
I always try and get a bit of a theme, like what do I want to get across before I even look at any models or anything. So like I do like, I've kind of like got my own little signature style of shots that I like. I like just hair. I don't like all this bloody frilly business, clothes and backgrounds and that. I just like a plain, clean background, and I like a tight shot, because to me it's about hair. But I think about like whether I want to do, am I looking for structure and shape, or am I looking for texture? And then I kind of think like, am I going more arty, or, you know, do I want some colour in it? And then once I kind of like get a feel for what I want to do, then I start looking at models, and I'm quite fussy with models as well. I get loads of people say, oh, I'll do it, but I don't like being rude to some people, but once you've got a theme in your head, you kind of like know exactly the type of model that you're looking for. So get the models in place and then, yeah, take it from there. But I've always got like a theme. I always know, like, you know, when you name your collections, I always know what my collection's going to be called before I even look at a model.
What was your last collection called?
Sorry?
What was your last collection called?
BU. So it was just about, the reason why I did that coloured was because I've normally done like sort of like black and white, and I wanted to do colour because of after the lockdown, I was like, oh God, I just feel like, we haven't had any creativeness. I've just been sat in the house miserable. You know, I couldn't get my hands on any colour or anything. I just wanted to, when we came out of lockdown, that was like the first thing I did, was like within a month of coming out of lockdown was do my photo shoot. So I planned it in lockdown, and I was like, I want it to be really vibrant and fresh, and, you know, that kind of thing. And just like, the reason why I chose BU is because like didn't just want one style of cutting or texture or whatever. I wanted just to show that like each person can be different and just embrace who they are, and just sort of celebrate different hairstyles, different hair textures, lengths, colours, and we don't have to conform. You can be you.
So Emma, is your work generally ladies then, and you do a lot of colour? What proportion of you is gents, and what is it ladies? What's your take?
Like the salon in general, we do a lot of ladies hair and colouring. I do predominantly ladies hair, but I love cutting. I love shortcuts and like lots of structure, and so I tend to get the majority of the male clients. So I don't know, I'd probably say maybe in my column, maybe 30% men. I don't know. It's getting more and more because like the barbershops where we are, the one's closed down, and we've got a Turkish barber shop, and you know, we don't, there's not much choice around here. And I think styles are moving forward in regards to men's styling, and it's becoming a lot more acceptable. You don't have to have like the really short back and sides anymore. There's a lot more texture, a lot more length and things like that going, you know, like mullets and things coming back in, and just like a more up-to-date version. And so yeah, we're seeing more gents coming into the salon because they're wanting more of a like the experience and the styling of it, rather than just going into the barbershop and waiting for a quick cut, you know, cut and off they go. They're wanting that blow drying styling. And
I think with ladies as well, I think it's more of a confidence thing rather than, you know, they haven't got the technical skill. I think it's a confidence thing with cutting shorter hair as well, isn't it? With ladies, they tend to pass it over, and I think that's why you know, when ladies coming from a ladies hairdressing background do go into gents, the finishing tends to be better, doesn't it? You know, the actual dressing out, the actual finishing of the haircut. You know, if they will take that leap into the gent side of the market, but not taking anything away that from barbers, because, you know, I'm a barber background myself, but you know, we have a huge amount of ladies that come in for short haircuts, not particularly skin fades or anything, but they do like the way we cut short hair. So I think it's something that the market can grow in for ladies hairdressing as well. So well done to you, good.
So Emma, a question as well, a lot of people want you to ask us, that some people don't know what the fellowship does and what kind of projects it does. So this year you did Project X, last year, now you're doing Project Men. So why do you choose Project Men, and like, you know, what kind of things are you wanting to learn off the project as well?
Well, obviously I like cutting, and so that's probably mostly what we're going to be doing with Project Men as opposed to Project Colour. So it was a toss-up between the two. I did Project X, absolutely loved it. I learned so much from it. I mean, I've been hairdressing for something like 26 years or something, but every time we went and did a session, like, I came away with so much. And then I wasn't going to do another one because my mum was poorly over Christmas, and I was like, oh, I can't commit to it. But then, like, just the thought of not going and doing all these new experiences and learning new things, I was like, I don't know if I can go a whole year. So I started looking at the two, and I thought, yeah, I think Project Men is more for me, because obviously it's like with the scissor work and the clipper work. I did train in barbering when I was 20 odd year ago, when I was did my apprenticeship, but it was very basic, and things have moved on a lot since then. So what I've been doing as the years have gone by is like, as styles have changed, and obviously like skin fading became a big thing, I just had to learn myself how to do it, you know, try and get the confidence, watching YouTube channels and things like that, and sort of have a practice on the doll's head, and then, you know, get some of my clients say, have you ever thought about having it really short? Can I ever go on you? So yeah, I thought that's where I'm going to get the most out of it for me, because I'm going to learn all the latest techniques, the latest trends, and just like some really good experiences. I've always stuck with hairdressing and never delved into the barbering side. I'd love to have a Barbers as well. Well, more like men's grooming, but I've never dared take that step because I felt like I didn't know enough about it. So hopefully this time next year I might open a men's grooming shop.
Fantastic. I think you're right. I think the industry has moved on a lot, and it's, you know, for the better, definitely.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
The quality of, and you know, the actual premises now, we talked about it last week with Tammy and George as well. So that's it. And you're one of those people who, you FOMO, isn't it? Fear of missing out. I think me and Simon are exactly the same. You know, when you see things going on and you're not, but you think, why I should be part of that, or I need I need to be or whatever. So, you know, you see photos of somebody down London now, and they're having a pint or whatever, and I'm like,
the barbering side of the industry has come so far forward, and it's like, you know, when you get your magazines, you know, every month, like your HJ and your Creative Head and everything, there's always like a growing section of barbering and men's in there now. And I'm like, yeah, I want some of that.
Yeah.
See how good I am at that as well.
Well, Emma, you're going to get a great year already. I think you enjoyed last week when we did it. It's I forgot to give everybody well, guys. We just worked straight through. So we've told everybody now when we can't do that anymore. So when we come to you, it's got to be we've got to definitely have a lunch break. You're going to be working with Gaz in March, Emma. He's going to teach you his signature shave with the BBA, which is fantastic. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy that.
Like the shaving the face.
Yeah.
I'll shave whatever you want.
I just had a guy in tonight, and he's been growing his beard, and he said his wife is moaning like mad, saying it's so untidy, do something with it, but he's too scared because he doesn't know what he's doing. I was like, right, you've got an excuse now. Just say Emma is learning all about barbering and beards and everything, so I've got to let it grow because I'm going to be Emma's model. So I've got someone to practice on.
Excellent. Well, Emma, you've got some of your project team members watching you. Tammy's on, and Alex is joining from Teddy Edwards as well. They're all watching you tonight. Leanne as well from Wales, she's watching you as well. We've also got Donny from Brazil. Hiya, Donny. Nice for you to join us from Brazil. He's probably getting tuned in, ready for Nieves to join us as well. Emma, another question I wanted to ask you is obviously working in a smaller like market town like Thirsk, which is very picturesque. Have we had Barbara on from Thirsk, Gary?
Do you know what? We were talking about this beforehand, weren't we?
Jack. He's up at road from me.
Jack Pullen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
you wear headphones just in case that it's too loud in his shop.
He's over at road from me. He's all right. He's Jack. He's really good. His barbershop is really busy. He's got the best reputation in Thirsk.
For barbering.
Yeah, definitely.
Our producer were trying to put together where Thirsk was, because obviously he's over in Australia. I think you're trying to, why is Thirsk ring a bell? Trying to say, well, it's just further up road from Wetherby and Harrogate, and you go up there, and then you're there at Thirsk.
You're right in the middle of everywhere.
Yeah, you are. So Emma, one of my questions as well. We'll finish up some quick fire questions as we finish as well. But what's your favourite hair show that you go to? You've obviously been in industry over 20 years now, and you've been to a lot of these shows. Do you go to Barber Connect or like that? Have you been to Barber Connect?
No, I haven't. I've got some friends that are barbers, and they've always said, "Oh, are you coming? Are you coming?" And I've always thought I won't fit in, but I'm going to go this year.
You will. What's your favourite hair show though? What's the one thing in the calendar? What's the one thing you think I can't miss that? Whether it's an awards, whether it's an air show, what's the one thing that Emma says I'm definitely going to that this year? Can't miss it.
I never ever miss Salon International because I like to see the Wahl stand.
Yeah,
you say all the right.
Tick to the top of the class. Yes.
You say all the right things, you do as well, Emma.
Well, I remember watching Simon on the Wahl stand, like, oh my God, so many years ago, probably when I was just training and thinking, what the hell? But actually, I couldn't stop watching. I watched the whole show right through, and my husband kept saying, are we moving on? I was like, no, I want to watch this guy. It was so loud and everything, and he had the biggest, like, and all the other stands were complaining, oh, it's so loud over there. But do you know what? Everybody loved it. And that's how it is every year, isn't it? You just go to the Wahl stand, you go in and you look for Wahl.
Yeah, all the organisers and that, they'll come back and say stuff like to you, like, do you realise it was at 230 odd decibels and it's hit the record? And I'm like, yes. Like, no, it's not good. But what would it be like if we weren't there? What would it be like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He wears that with a badge of honour as well. He loves that. He might get a bollock in every show he goes, but he wears it as a badge of honour. He loves it.
But disappointed if he didn't get told off.
Well, you know what though? And all I'd say is whoever's doing, whatever you do in your shop and whatever you do in your businesses, you have to do what I've tried to create with Wahl. Because when I first went to Wahl, we weren't the loudest or the biggest, and we weren't and it's not about, like, I think it's loud, but it's so attractive when you were there. That's to pull you in. It's the atmosphere. I try and do it from a visitor's point of view. So I try and do everything as if I'm sat in that audience. And what you just said there is, I don't want to go. I want to say, watch, there's something going to happen here. And I think that's really important for businesses as well, that you want to keep clients tied to, because, you know, if she's not going to do me hair, he's going to do me hair, because this salon's just where I want to be. And I think that's what Wahl creates, an exhibition. Might not be me you want to watch, but you might want to watch Michael Damiano, you might want to watch Five, Alan B. There's something there for everybody.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I think that resonates with salons and work as well, because, you know, if you are off, you know, especially if you train your own staff, you want them all to be to a great standard, and they can swap and change from different styles. You don't want to be the busiest and everybody else standing about, do you? So when everybody's that good, they can interchange with different styles, different barbers. It's a great business model. Just quickly, Anna, before we go into the quick fire, what's on the horizon for EMMA at the moment? Then, you know, what would you what's coming your way for the rest of the year? I know, without going into Project Men, where is it what's one thing you want to do?
I want to win the BHA this year. So I'm trying to put that together, and I'm thinking that I might enter a few different categories. So I think I'm gonna put a men's collection together. So I'm going to have a little, like a mini shoot sort of soon, just to get a feel for what type of style I like for the men's images, and then hopefully put a couple of different collections together for the BHA. That'll be the big one this year, I think.
When does
probably photo shoots.
When does that application? When does that your entry have to be in for?
June, July?
June, I think. I think it's around about June. I normally shoot sort of like March, April time. So obviously with COVID, it was all screwed up, but I think this year it's back to normal. So I think it'll be June that it goes in.
Perfect. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Right, Emma, we're going to finish off some quick fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
See if we can get these right. Emma Simmons, Salon 54. Here we go. What is your favourite food?
Indian.
Indian. What's your favourite drink?
Pretty much anything alcoholic, really. I don't know.
What?
I drink a lot of gin.
So we'll put pink gin then, just so you're keeping in with the theme, yeah? What's your favourite destination? Where would you love to? Where's the best place that you like to travel to?
Singapore.
Hey, do you know what? You must have watched my shows before, because it's mine. Love it.
Yeah.
I've not
Another brag point.
I've not gone on holiday there. I've just worked there a couple of times, lucky enough to do it, but it's an amazing place. Expensive, but really nice. What's your favourite music?
I like anything, but I tend to listen to a lot of really old stuff, like 60s and 70s.
I've had a tendency this week, while I've been working from home before I start my calls, and even if it's like a 6:30, 7 o'clock start, I've been listening to Beach Boys. It's been getting me all motivated in the morning. So sad. Emma, who would be your ideal dinner date? You can fetch somebody back from the past. Who would you like to have one night with? Not in a weird way, but who would you like to have one night with, having a dinner, to have chats with, and candour and a laugh, and you know, just conversation? Who would that ideal dinner date be? Bruce Lee. I'd never have said, you'd have said Bruce Lee. Or the music. I thought we were going to go there for, I don't know. Anyway, Emma Simmons from Salon 54. We wish you all the best from Barbers Arms this year with your Project Men and your photo shoots. And let's hope that fourth time lucky, you get through to the BHA Northeastern and men's probably, and pick one of them trophies up. I think you had a guy last week that told you that 3 or 4 years he sat there and didn't win out, and then when he least expected it, won it. So don't expect it this year. It'll be your year. Yeah. Having her favourite food, which is an Indian. She's having this with her favourite gin, which could be any flavoured gin, but tonight it's going to be a pink gin. She's doing all this in the fantastic Singapore, maybe at the Marine Sands where the boat's on the top and it's an infinity pool. That's a great location in Singapore to do all this. Listening to her favourite 60s music and doing all this with the very late Bruce Lee. Emma Simmons, you've been on Barbers Arms. Well done. Thank you.
Lovely to meet you, Emma. I'll see you in March. Lovely.
Thank you. See you later. Bye.
See ya. I feel all pinky now. I feel all like
we're gonna have a room full of pink-haired ladies. It'll be like something off Greece or something. The pink ladies.
The pink ladies, yeah. We'll have to wear what were the T-birds? The guys were shot time boys. Are you kidding me? Oh, I don't believe he's even asking me to have a shot. Do you want a shot, Gaz?
Yeah, go on. I'll just have
what
to
we
go
having?
up from the bar.
Yeah, but what you having? Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Trevor, what a dick.
You know what I'm going to go with. I've got my old favourite.
What is it?
Fireballs, cinnamon whiskey.
Right, so I think I'm gonna come out for you guys. I'm gonna have a little vodka, a Grey Goose vodka.
The trouble is, you know, he's done this now. Our producers thrown this in because we both said we weren't going to have a lot today, but he knows now that this is like opening Pandora's box now, and I'm going to drink this before we finish.
Well,
the
I'm
show.
gonna have my vodka neat, and I'm just gonna have it with ice, so it's not like a shot as such. So you can now check in it.
Hey, just
on now, guys. We're gonna go across to America. And we're going to have the men's hairdresser of the year. It's a biggie, this one.
I think he's going to be another 5 minutes. So we've got 5 minutes worth of shots to have, I think.
5 minutes of shots. Oh my God.
We've got, while you're just getting your ice ready, we've got Steve from Stefano's Barbers in Stoke-on-Trent. He's just joined us. I think cheers, Steve. He's just finished work. Just a little quickie as well, and Trevor's just let me know. Did you know that the bars have been shut in Singapore since 2020? Since the middle of 2020, the bars haven't reopened there yet. So
not my favourite place. Then not my ideal dinner date place.
No, we won't be going there for a meeting.
You've already had a pre-shot.
Oh God, you weren't even looking. How do you know that?
I just want my vodka to get really iced up. It's the way to do it. I'm just going to get the loads of. It's got to be ice cold for me to do it.
Mine looks like more like a specimen.
That's a shot and a half, that as well, by the way.
Well, you got to have a proper shot glass, haven't you?
All right.
Solange.
Cheers, everybody.
That was for all the Scots out there for Burns night on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? I think it was, wasn't it?
I've got to say, when you have a Grey Goose just with ice, you can't. I don't know why I'm pulling the face. You can't really taste it that much. It's nice. It's just, and it's kind of. No, it wasn't water. You saw me pour it. It's here.
Do you know? Do you know?
Them faces. I can't act anymore.
Do you know what? It's we used to have. My uncle Alf, God bless him. He was Polish, and it always amazes me. Family dues, and when you travel that neck of the woods for work, they drink vodka like it's water, don't they? And it's really, really strong. I know for you can't smell it. Taste is just like pure. For me, it's like pure alcohol. There's no pleasantness in drinking. Just straight vodka whatsoever. But they don't have shot glasses like that. They have glasses like that and put that much in it, and then expect and you feel like
love it. Just have some ice like that, just on its own. Or sometimes if I'm away as well, especially on a cruise, I love to have it with fresh orange midday, like about 11. Just nice, like breakfast juice then.
Do you know what though? When you drink something like that with orange or Coke or lemonade or something like that, for me, that's just like you just won't get slaughtered without the taste. Because at least if you have a nice whiskey. I mean, this isn't this isn't a posh whiskey or anything. This got introduced to this in Canada by yours truly, Mr. Guam. But you know, it tastes nice. It's got a taste, and a lot of nice smooth whiskies are lovely. They nice. But vodka, there's nothing nice about it to drink. And then when you put orange in it, or it's just like having an orange juice, but you're getting slaughtered.
That just nice. It's quite pleasant. While we're in Chicago, Sam introduced me to a drink. There was two. I hope he's watching. If he's not, I'll probably put it in the chat afterwards. Don't forget as well, guys, put things in the chat group today. Any questions you've got, any guests that you want coming up, or anything that you want to have mentioned on Barbers Arms, don't forget to put it in there, and don't forget to share Barbers Arms for us, all of you tonight as well. But he introduced me to a drink, I think it's called Nirvana, and it's an after dinner drink, and you poured it in, you've got to pour it on ice, and you've got to and it was like a mild coffee, very mild coffee. And it's like a sambo. It's an Italian, and you can't get it in many places. He says there's just an Italian wholesale place in near where he lives in London that sells it. And honestly, it digests all your food. It was, and that's what I find with vodka. If you're drinking like lagers and you have one of them in between, just on its own, one, it does the job to brain cells, but two, it just settles everything down. There's another drink. Have you ever been in a bar as well? You've seen a bottle and it's like a monk.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like a hazelnut. It's like drinking alcoholic Nutella. And once you've had one of them as well, it's like a dessert. So we had one of these Nirvanas to settle the stomach, which were like a coffee kind of liqueur. Then we had the hazelnut one afterwards, and both are superb. So I've changed my mind a little bit on shots. I'm getting there.
Well, I've got a bottle of that in stock, but the barmaid is obviously watching this upstairs, and she isn't about, but I'd have to go rummaging. But I've actually got a bottle of that in the back of the cupboard, because when we do
the monk.
Yeah, when we were doing that, it's a mixer for a lot of things, and you don't tend to drink it a lot on its own, but unless you're Italian or you in Chicago, obviously. But it's a good. You used it in a lot of cocktails, and
Hey, I don't know if you noticed, we had a bottle of champagne that lit up.
Yeah, I saw it. A table for two and a little sparkly champagne.
Pink champagne, by the way. It was very romantic. We were sat on the 39th floor of the Witt Hotel. We were there, and I'd seen this bottle come out to these guys, and there were two girls that came. When you order this bottle of champagne that lights up, they come with little fireworks and do this little dance. And you know what it sounds like? Oh, no dance now. No, mate, I'm all right. I'm from London, mate. I don't want it. And I'm like, I want the dancers. He's like, nah, just give it champagne. And they were like lighting up, and I'm like, so gimmicky. I'm like, champagne's lighting up. But as you drink, the more you drink it, the light diminishes. So ours lasted about 7 minutes. It lit up. Talking to Chicago.
Here we go.
Talking of guests on Barbers Arms. We've had some biggies over the 79 episodes. But I'm really pleased tonight to go over to America. We're going to go over to Cesario, which is just outside Chicago. It's a birthplace of a very famous gangster. But the gangster in the house tonight has done an absolutely unbelievable. His career has exploded the last 2 or 3 years with Wahl. You'll see him on every video that we've put out on our social medias at Wahl USA. And being nominated into the final of the NAHA Awards for 2 years on the trot. But in 2021, he became the first ever in history barber to win the Men's Hairdresser of the Year at the NAHA Awards, and breaking history that is the only barber ever to do it. I was lucky enough a few weeks ago to be in his shop, How to Fade, in Chicago. So without further ado, please welcome to Barbers Arms, the one and only America's Men's Hairdresser of the Year, Nieves Almaraz.
Hey.
Hey, legend.
Hey, how's it going over there?
It's okay, bro. You?
I'm all right. You know, it's apparently it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Are you having a drink or are you at work?
I'm working right now. I got a room full of students next door.
And I've been there. Yes.
Now, can you just turn whatever device you're on? Can you turn it the other way so we get the wider view?
Perfect.
Perfect. So we've got your back shop there. Is that a bar you've been into, or is that somewhere you know or not?
Well, this was a little something. Somebody said, "Hey, this is a good place, so you should check it out." I snapped a picture and put it up in the back of me.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it's an absolute pleasure, sir, to have you on, and welcome to the Barbers Arms. It's great to have you on the show, and thank you for giving us your time out of your busy schedule. For all the guys out here in the UK and around the world, because we have a global audience for the show, can you just give us a 2-minute bio of who you are, what you are, and where you are based, please, Nieves?
Absolutely. I'm Nieves Almaraz. I'm right in Chicago, Illinois, a town over called Cicero, Illinois. And Simon visited me the other day, and I told him, I said, you know, this is the home of Al Capone. So Al Capone resided here, and you know, you guys seen plenty of movies with him. I come from a cosmetology background, and then I went on to barber school. I also did the cosmetology instructor program, the barber instructor program. I now own a barber school. But that's a little bit of me and what I'm doing right now. I'm teaching about 30 future barbers right now, and I'm excited.
Oh, fantastic. Do you own a barbershop as well at the moment, Nieves, as well? Or is it just, are you purely teaching now, or do you work in the barbershop as well?
I'm teaching. However, I mean, I've been doing this so long, I still have clients that beg me for haircuts, you know? So they come in and I show the students, I say, hey, look, you know, they get the full experience of me doing haircuts, you know?
Fantastic.
Let me just say, Gary, he understates everything. He's a very humble guy. For the last 2 years, if you see anything that's Wahl or Wahl USA, you'll have seen Nieves on the forefront of it. All the videos that we've done, everything's been with Nieves on it as a front man there at Wahl. But one thing I want to say is, as well, is that when we pulled up into the... Have we got an echo somewhere? Somebody got a device on? Huh, can hear an echo at my end. When we pulled up in the cab, in the Uber to go to Nieves' shop, when we got out of the cab, it's a very Hispanic kind of area. You know, when you get out of the cab and when you watch it on the movies where the music's coming out of a little speaker outside the shop and it's all like Latino music and stuff. So he gets out of the car, walks across to the shop, and then he tells me that this is where Al Capone resided and everything. But guys who's watching, you just go watch, you'll see his Instagram account coming up on your screens right now. So you see how, and have a look at Nieves' work, the winning collection for the NAHA Awards, but also the way this guy fades. He cut Sam's hair while we were there, and the fit on Sam's and his beard, and the attention to detail is unbelievable, the way this guy fades. But he has a guy working across from him. What's the guy called?
His name's Archie.
Archie. Gary, viewers, honestly, I have never seen a guy fade, line in, use a cutthroat as quick as this guy does, but as accurate as this guy does. He was absolutely awesome.
He's a machine.
Absolute machine. So, Nieves, just tell everybody a little bit about the winning the NAHA award, the Men's Hairdresser of the Year, the evening. How did it feel to win that?
Well, it was a great feeling. One of the things about that night was I actually got to enjoy the win with all of the team from Wahl, but the actual people who work in Sterling, Illinois, where the clippers are manufactured. A lot of the sales reps were there, some of the people from the warehouse. It was just, they were ecstatic. I almost felt like they were more happier than I was, you know? And if you kind of can think back a little to the vibe of, you know, COVID and how things have been going in that direction, and just how everyone took a hit, you know, even in manufacturing. Wahl has been really trying to stay and keep a par with everything, right? And, you know, in some sense, morale has been at a certain level. And when I got that win, it was like we all won, you know? And it was just such a great feeling, and it was great to actually be there to celebrate with them.
Well, one of my questions were going to be, how did you celebrate as well? But go on, Gary. Gary, just for starts as well, NAHA Awards is the North American Hairdressing Awards.
So it's the equivalent of our British Hairdressing.
Yeah.
But I had the pleasure of, I was working in Long Beach. I was working in all down the Californian coast, and the NAHAs were at the Long Beach Convention Center. I can't remember how many years. It can't be the last 2 years, so it's got to be either 19, 18. I'm not quite sure. And they are like the Academy Awards, really, aren't they? As well, you know, it's that kind of vibe. It's fantastic. Where were they held this year?
So they were they coincided with Cosmoprof North America, which was in Las Vegas. So everything happened down in Las Vegas.
Now, that is a place to win your first NAHA, isn't it? Because when it comes to, and Simon's question's coming, now Sin City to win your first NAHA, especially being the first barber, it doesn't get any better than that, I guess.
Oh, it was, you know, what's funny about the whole thing was where the show was held, and the category I won was the first category announced. So right when you walk off the stage, they give you a glass of champagne, you know? And for some reason, the person pouring the champagne, every time my glass would get a little empty, he'd keep filling it up. So before you know it, like I said, more of the Wahl people came out to join me, and we were all drinking champagne. We had our own party right in the hallway there. So we didn't even end up going anywhere else. There was an after party, and we just stuck it out in the hotel lobby there, or in the lobby of the award show. It was great.
I've seen lots of photographs. It looked, I think you're right as well. It was like a celebration for everybody that's been involved with you. Because I've known Nieves for 9 years, and I think it's like any, for our barbers that's watching in the UK, you'll understand this. For you guys, a bit like with you, Nieves, it's like hockey or basketball or football. We call it soccer, but over here for football, a manager comes in and a different manager looks at different people, and somebody who weren't in the first team squad or pulling the shots or scoring the goals. For as long as I've known Nieves, which is probably 9 years, you've been with us, 9-10 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Nieves was never the front man. I have to say it. You were never the front man. You know, I'll be honest with you. And the last 2 years we had a change of management, and that, you know, the leadership at that point has really pushed him forward. And you know, the guys took it with both hands and really elevated his own career and elevated things that we've done at Wahl. You know, he's been on all the videos. He's almost like a semi-actor as well with some of the Matrix videos that we do. He takes the role fantastic well. So look, fair play to you. You did well. You've mentioned there what you did afterwards. Is there anything that you celebrated with when you came back home? Because you've got a family now that's all working in the business in Out of Fade.
Yeah, so my son is actually the first person I enrolled into my barber school. And my wife is also enrolled. She was out there in Vegas with me. So when I came back, I brought the trophy back to the school. And, you know, I talked to my students. I told them, you know, look, I never would have thought that I would be in this position and holding this trophy in my own school, you know? And I just let them know, you know, sky's the limit. But also thinking back to everything, it's all about preparation. I was prepared. I was educating myself. I was working hard behind the scenes. And like you said, when it was the change of management came and it was time to work, I was already used to working. I was already prepared to work. And, you know, I just took it by the horns and I ran with it. And every opportunity that came about, you know, I made sure I was prepared for it. And that's the message that I like to put out there. You know, if you prepare and you work hard, and when the moment comes, you're going to be ready for it.
Do you know what I think? And any young, up and coming, and even anybody who's been in the industry a long time, it's never too late, is it? It's never too late to start and change and educate. But my question to you, Nieves, is, as Simon said in your intro, you're the first barber to win the NAHA in that particular category. And I know, and it's the same in this country, you know, for the British Hairdressing Awards, it's usually a stylist that wins the gents category, if you like. We've always been slightly called the poor cousin. Why do you think that is? Why do you think, you know, with such great barbers all over the country, great guys, you know, both sides of the pond, I'm taking this as a generalization.
Right.
But why do you think it's taking so long for a barber to actually, is it resources? Is it drive? Is it they think they can't confidence? Why do you think what's the reason?
It's a little bit of everything, I believe. But most of all, just to be informed. And I think now we're more informed than ever with the internet, you know? So a lot of barbers didn't quite know that this award show existed. And, you know, even when I go out to barber expos now, I have to explain, hey, this is the Golden Globes, this is the Oscars of North America here that I'm dealing with. And with that being said, we are changing the standard of the industry. As I move through this award show, and because I got nominated the year before as well, but we didn't quite get it. And when I came back the following year, we came back harder and stronger and more prepared, and we were able to get it. And for what it is, we are now making the award show acknowledge us as barbers, because they're changing the name of the category. The name of the category will no longer be Men's Hairstylist of the Year. I hold the last trophy with that label on it. It will now be Barber of the Year in North America. So I just think we're setting the trend, and barbers are making their mark, and we're here to stay.
Fantastic. So what you're saying is, you know, it's the best kept secret in the country, within the industry. People just don't know about it. Simple as that.
Yeah, and if you think about it, people were saying barbering was a lost art form for some time. And look at the impact that we've been making over the last 10 years now. Barbering has exploded around the world, and it's a force to be reckoned with. And now the judges can no longer just understand and complement the hairstyling aspect of it. They now have to look at the barber precision, and the more we get involved, the more of that they'll see. And now they understand it, which is why they're changing the name of the category.
Fantastic, mate. You take me hat off to you.
Well done, pal. It's a biggie, that, Gaz, isn't it? You know, when you can actually sit back and say, I was the last to win the Men's Hairdresser of the Year, because basically we changed power.
And the first barber.
Yeah, the first barber to win the Men's Hairdresser of the Year. And then the year after it's changed because barbering is so strong now in America. And it is. Nieves, coming away a little bit from the industry, so everybody's getting a picture for you, because I've been there. But does it still feel a bit of an Al Capone feeling around the streets and the blocks? Have we got that? Because people over here, like you said, are intrigued with gangster films, gangster documentaries, Al Capone. People go to Alcatraz from the UK and go visit his cell. Is there still a gangster feel to that area?
I would say around here, we don't talk about things like that.
I knew you were going to say that. Yes, guys, there is. Me and Sam walked a couple of blocks to Walgreens to get some bits and pieces. And yes, we got an Uber, because you just feel that you're not from round here. So you might not feel, if he'd have been with us out on the streets, no problem. But yeah, it's definitely got a feel there that there's, it could be naughty.
The thing is, Nieves, as well. I think the Brits are quite romantic. You know, we like to think it's still like that. You see all the films, and you know, back in the day, and sharp suits. You know, all the limousines and everything. The Tommy guns. We still think it's like that. You know, we're still living in the past, but obviously it's not, and it's not particularly correct. We don't want to push that where we shouldn't do, but you know, when we look at the films and when we look at the places, but when you actually get out there and you see the landmarks as well that were in the films, it's quite stirring as well, because they're going to be there for history, aren't they, as well? So
yeah, funny story. One of the barber shops I owned in the past, the location, you know, Al Capone used to have a lot of tunnels built throughout this town, and he had a hotel that was kind of across the street from my old shop, and in the basement of that shop you can actually still see the tunnel leading out to like across the street. They'd use it to hide, and you know, they had their speakeasies back then where, you know, they would hide out and move around and to get away from law enforcement. So it was just pretty cool for me to stand in those hallways before.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Into all that stuff. I love all that stuff. Nieves, for all our viewers as well in the UK, you know, we're in a lot of barbers this year, may come out to some of the shows in the USA. Obviously, we've got the next one coming up in Chicago, the ABS show, which I think is in April. And then there's obviously the Florida show and the California show. Just give everybody a kind of view what to expect from the USA shows, the exhibition shows.
Well, you know, they're always big, full of a lot of companies that come out, a lot of attendees. Some of them are getting pushed back due to you know, the pandemic and whatnot, but for the most part out here in Chicago, I think all things are ready to go. Last year, the show out here, I felt like Barbers carried it. There was a lot of barbers out here, barber brands, and you didn't quite see the hairstylists out like they were before. A lot of the companies kind of backed away and wanted to wait till things cleared up a little more. And I felt like Barbers were there to save the day. We stepped it up, and you know, there was a lot of education for that. So I think leading up into these next shows, you'll definitely see a lot of more barbers showing up. It's definitely still something that's making a big wave. Like I said, barbering we're holding down the industry out here for sure. And in these expos, and I do see a lot more people coming out. They want to attend shows, and you know, they're just so over being locked down now. You know, everybody wants to move around and enjoy themselves and educate themselves, get back to the way the world was.
Do you know what, Nieves? I mean, obviously we haven't been over for 2 years, but the BBA has been over to the shows 17, 18, 19, and before that as well. But I think it's the scale. You know, if any guys out there want to get out and do the North American shows, it's always worth doing. You can almost, you know, they can get a bit of a holiday on the back of it as well, but just go to the shows while they're there. It's the scale. They're huge, aren't they, as well? You know, they're great shows. They're very well attended. We've done all the shows, you know, Long Beach, Orlando, but you have a lot of breakout rooms. There's a lot of free education there as well. There's some paid as well, but the breakout rooms are really worth it as well. I mean, we've attended that. We've done shaving master classes and different cutting classes there as well. And I'm sure you must have been there the same day. We didn't know each other. I know I visited the Wahl stand and saw all the staff on there. But it's well worth of it. I mean, if you came over to one of our shows over here, we're very small but perfectly formed, I would say, something like that. But on the North American scale, you've got, if you've never been to one, all the guys out there need to go just to see what it's all about. Especially if you've you know, you're having in a beautiful place like Long Beach or Vegas or, you know, Orlando. They're all in Chicago, especially. They're all in great locations as well, and you can tag it on, have a little add on to your trip as well. So it's well worth the visit, isn't it, mate?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would always say Chicago for me is going to be the most beautiful city to come and visit. And around April, the show would usually happen, the ABS show in March, and sometimes there'll be a snowstorm involved in that on your commute in. So them pushing it into April right now, you would get a taste of springtime out here, and that would be perfect weather to see the city and see the beauty of it, and also participate in the actual hair show. Everybody would be out moving, and it'd just be a great vibe. And
it is. I mean, Gary, you've been there. Nieves, you live there, and I've been lucky enough to be out about 20 times. But the city is an amazing city. I prefer it to New York. I just, Chicago's like my, outside where I live, in London, that would be my third city that I'd want to reside in, because I've been there so many times. I know it really well. And it's just got, the thing is with Chicago is, when it's cold, it's freezing. It was freezing while we were there. In Sterling, it was like -10, black ice. But when you get to the summertime, it's like red hot. You can go to the beach, you can go to the woods, you can go country. It's just got everything's there at Chicago. So I think the April time is going to be an amazing time there for ABS show.
The thing is, it's the scale as well, isn't it? I mean, you don't think you're on the edge of a lake, do you? It's like being on the ocean. You know, it's the scale of the place is huge as well. So anybody who hasn't been needs to go at least once.
Absolutely, it's massive. I myself, I've lived here all my life, and I haven't visited every part of it yet.
Yeah. And of course,
you need to, next time me and Gary are in town, if we come over for the ABS show, you need to come into town. We'll go up to your school anyway, because your school's really cool. It's got loads of students. It's got 2 sides to it. It's a really big place. He's a great guy. We'll come up to your school, but you need to come into town with us for a night as well, and sample some of the stuff that the UK guys get up to while we're in Chicago, which is normally revolves around some restaurant, and me light drinking, Gary heavy drinking, but you'll enjoy it.
Do you know what? You know what as well, Never? It was the first baseball game I did there as well. That was my first baseball game in Chicago as well. So.
What team would have that been? Who?
The Sox.
Oh, the Sox. Okay. So you were on the south side of Chicago. Yeah. So Chicago's so massive. You're either a Sox fan or a Cubs fan. So we have 2 baseball teams out here, and they're both rivalries of each other. So they do this thing called the Crosstown Classic, where those 2 teams play each other, and the whole city goes wild over that. It's a great experience if you sit in that ballpark at that time when those 2 teams are playing.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, Nieves, I'm going to finish off with quick fire questions to you. We've already done some to Emma. So just some quick ones for our viewers to get a little bit to know you. So here we go. What's your favourite, cats or dogs?
My favorite who?
Do you prefer cats or dogs?
I prefer cats, but I own a dog. The wife isn't into cats, but all my life growing up, I had cats, and yeah, the wife don't want a cat. She's like, the kids want a dog, so we got them a dog.
Okay. Night in or night out?
I'm in the nights out.
Vegas, baby. Would you drink tea or coffee?
Coffee.
All the Americans say coffee. No American says tea.
So we're into coffee that's called Bustelo. So it's a Colombian coffee called Bustelo. So me and all the students here, that's what we're sipping on, but it is an espresso. So we pop the K-cup into the Keurig machine, and you know, that's what we're drinking on in here. So we like to say it's a boost of pep around here.
Okay, and that's called a Bustelo. Bustelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, want to get me and gather some kind of cocktail with a Bustelo in. Do you like Chinese? Which is your favorite, Chinese food or Indian food?
Well, we have much restaurants around here, but there's so many Chinese food restaurants. So I'm into that.
And would you prefer to dress up or dress down?
I'm into dressing up.
Do you know what? If you've seen it, guys, if you're watching this as well, have a look at the American version of the Barber Evo. Nieves was on the front cover December issue. What suit, by the way? The blue velvet suit, absolutely class for the awards. Nieves, always a pleasure, mate. It was amazing to come out and see you in Chicago. We've known each other for 9 years. The first time I connected. I'm so glad we made the effort to come out to you and to see where you work. Watching you over the 2 years grow your career with Wahl, and actually take that with both hands, and not only get the opportunity, but to take it with both hands and to smash it. You know, winning the NAHA award, doing all the stuff you've done with the creative team and Bird Mina and Lisa, that you've done loads of stuff. You've had a great 2 years, mate. And as I said to you, nothing changes. You carry on as you are. You're a top guy, very humble guy, and you've got still a massive future at Wahl, and I love what you do, mate. So keep it up. We'll keep in touch. We'll see you in a few weeks. Nieves, just to let you all know, guys, I'm going to share a private education group, which is a brand new Wahl International Education group on Facebook, which is an education. And every Tuesday, starting on the February the 7th, there's going to be an international presenter doing an half-an-hour slot. And Nieves is the first one up on the 7th of February. So I'm going to make sure that in the link here, we're going to put an invitation for you guys to join us from Barbers Arms. Nieves, have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for being on Barbers Arms, bro. You're the man.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Nieves, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And thank you. Can I just say as well, before we go, thank you for supporting the Barbers Arms education seminar that we did, the international one. You were top draw. It was absolutely fantastic. We got great reviews over it. So thanks for giving us your time. It was a fantastic event. Anybody who wants to catch it up can find it on the Barbers Arms as well. So if you missed Nieves on that, but it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. Hope to catch you for a pint very soon in the US of A. Thank you very much for coming on the show, mate.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Simon.
Nieves Almaraz, everybody. Great guy. Great guy.
Really, really good. You know, so humble as well. He's obviously I watched him. We did the education, the 24-hour education that we did around the world, and you know, the expo that we did. But he came across really well, obviously then. But that's the first time we spoke personally. But he's nothing like I thought. He's really, really genuinely humble, nice fella, which is nice to see, especially when you've won that accolade as well. But what a great character for North American barbering as well.
Yeah, I think for me, Gary, you know, the one thing I like about him is that he's got that really nice, humble feel about him. But it's when you go out to his place. I spoke to Miguel Rosas, who's part of the team as well, who's just based a little bit further out of Chicago. And I said, Sam needs his beard trimming up and he wants a quick haircut. Do you know where he can get it done? And he put it on the group, and Nieves came straight back and said, the guys are coming out to see me. I'll do it. and that's the kind of guy he is. And you know, I'm so glad we went out there that morning. It's about half an hour outside of Chicago, 20 minutes outside of Chicago in an Uber. Quirky area, very quirky area. You got out of the car and we pulled outside like a liquor store, an off license, and it was like the music was coming out of the, and it was like Latino music. I looked at Sam and it's a bit bleak. We see his shop across the road, so he gets over there. Then he tells us the story about like this is Al Capone's area. And then you come out and everybody you look at, you thinking, I'm saying, Sam, he's a gangster. He's a gangster. He's a gangster. He's got a gun on him. He's a gangster. Gary's having cheeky shots. But no, look, great guy. He took his opportunity with Wahl fantastically well. Super human being. You know, I think the combination tonight with Emma and Nieves has been really good. I hope you've all enjoyed Barbers' episode 79 in your new lease life.
Just before we go, come on, get another shot on. I hope you've had one.
I can't do another one, guys. Honestly, I can't do another one. I had a really nice long shot there. You can do it though, because you're doing it for both of us. I can't do another one. Trevor's so naughty.
Go on then. Go on. You round up and I'll finish with a drink on my own then. Go on,
when we're live together in Dubai, yes, definitely. And Trevor will take 2 shots to our one just to get him back, just to watch him suffer. And then we'll throw him over at top of Pier 7 into Marina. And then we'll send the little floats in for him afterwards. Yes, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Hope you've all enjoyed episode 79. Emma Simmons and Nieves Almaraz from America have joined us in the Barbers' Arms. Keep sharing all the content if you're watching it, or if you watch it. I know everybody's got a set routine. Sometimes we might only have 15, 20 live views, but looking at last week, 62,000 people have watched us then from last Friday to this Friday. It's amazing while we're out in America that people are saying to me in our HR department, I watch your Barbers' Arms. I watch it on a Tuesday afternoon. And it's like, everybody's got the set times. I know Adam Sloan watched it on a Saturday morning. Phil Jarman's in the house tonight. Everybody's got this different times that people watch it. But please share it as well, because we've got lots of great stuff coming up. We've got lots of great guests coming up in the next few weeks as well, that are going to be joining us on the Arms as well. So we hope you've enjoyed Emma Simmons tonight, and Nieves. Have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget, if you feel it's right to wear your mask, wear your mask. If you feel it's right for your clients to wear your mask, just because everybody said it's all over that part of it, don't be bullied, or don't feel like you don't need to do it. If you feel it's right, still do it. And keep watching Barbers' Arms. We'll see you all next Friday.
Thank you very much for your time show. Well, it just leaves me to say, have a fantastic weekend. Hope you're very busy tomorrow. Straight home, no messing about. If you're going straight home, I might just stay and have another end of. We might have a drink to Mr. Almaraz's win, even though it was a while back.
We had half an hour last week afterwards, so it should do it again.
We'll have another quick drink anyway. Good health and happiness to everybody out there. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you very soon. We've got loads of stuff coming up, so please share. Please share. Even if you're watching this back, that means you is to land it while you're gardening. Watch your toes when you're turning that ground over and cutting your grass with your pods in. I know you'll be listening to us either tomorrow or Sunday. So good health to everybody and have a great weekend. From
nice
the
weekend, guys.
We're out.
Adios. Yeehaw! Sneaky shots in there.